Xbox is the bad guy again, while Nintendo, they get a pass. Okay, that is what I put on there. Yeah, I don't know who this Adam dude is. Um,
For
I don't know if he's coming over here just to talk shit. Um, so I don't know what it was, but I know he said that Dirt called us out on his show. Don't know. Sounds weird, but
does sound weird, but
guess we'll find out.
guess so.
All right. So let's see. Xbox bad guy, Nintendo going ahead, getting a free pass. PlayStation, we just did a few shows back to back about how they've been raising prices all over the world for their consoles and their peripherals and such. But yeah, okay. I I feel like let's bring back the pinned comment, and then we can just kind of go off of that. Yes.
Yes.
All right. So we're bringing it back. Here we go. Return true. Thanks for being here, man. It says Doodle. It was because some of us, maybe naively, really thought Xbox cared about gaming and the community. We really thought they wanted to bring gaming to a wider player base. Now they feel like just another company. Okay. So that was the
But
message.
it is it is a
So
company. I think the way that they go ahead and care about gaming is, through
supplying games.
supplying games, quality games, pushing the industry forward, hitting the next gen quality of games, right? That we've been asking for. And honestly, continuing to support passion projects, stories like South of Midnight that it's may not sell freaking crazy, but it's something that needs to be told and put out there, right? I just listen, business is business at the end of the day. And if they have to let people go, or if they have to go ahead and suit up and do, fit into what they need to be equivalent to the competition, right? And to be looked at fairly and treated the same, which is not what happens out there. Even if their prices are lower, even if they have better quality, that's not the way that they're respected, appreciated, and seen. I think I would say that they're the ones that do try to connect with the community. They're the ones that do try to meet you halfway and kind of listen, right? And I think that has been taken for granted. I think last year was a huge example of how they were trying to burn down Xbox because they put those four games, or they before they even announced something like that, they went ahead out there and talked about how Xbox was going to put games on PlayStation, and they all Twitter just ran with it. So if you have your own fan base with a lack of trust, right, willing to destroy the brand in a quick second over rumors or anything that doesn't suit what they want, I think those bridges have been burned by the people out there that love to go ahead and get on that Xbox bad wagon. And again, I'm not saying this because I think that what they're necessarily doing is bad. I understand why they're doing it, right? It makes sense to me. I
Well, if
have my
everybody's doing it,
consoles. I have Game Pass. And yes, I'm not naive. I understand the amount of games that they're putting in Game Pass. And I know that, April was insane and things are just going to continue to get crazier, and 2026 is going to be wild when it comes to gaming. So I understand that, just like Netflix, just like Hulu, just like Disney Plus, Apple TV, the prices will go up. That's just what happens,
and we're not
right?
advocating for it. We're not
We're
saying, hey,
not saying,
this
hey,
should
charge
happen
us more,
because that's crazy
but
because nobody wants to do that no matter how much money you have. right? Like that's just the reality. There's nobody who
No one
says
wants to
I want
pay
to
more.
buy things at a higher price than I need to, right? Nobody wants to do that. That is just the reality. But they did not start the fight, dude. They did not do that. It's another party who started the shit.
And if anything, at least just like they did with Game Pass, they're giving you a head start. They're letting you know before things kick in. And it's not like they haven't been doing this, because I feel like no one recognizes and has anything positive to say when they go ahead and they do something different, right? Like an update that doesn't cost you anything. That's not celebrated out there, right? It's not announced because the competitors go ahead and charge an extra $10 or however much for an update, right? Or when it comes to freaking announcing the fact that this is going to go ahead and kick in later. I mean, we paid what? $50 for South of Midnight? That was the price.
Well, we didn't
Hellblade
pay
2,
shit. We had
well,
Game
I know,
Pass,
but Hellblade 2,
and they sent it to us.
$50 as well. Like, they have been gauging where these games fall for a while now. They're going to continue to do the same. It's just that the new higher bracket, instead of $70 as dictated by Nintendo, it will now be 80. And I don't know how we can understand that if other companies are doing this, that they're going to go ahead and do the same. At least they have other options. Nintendo games do not lower in price. Very rarely that you go ahead and catch $10 off a Nintendo game or something like that. You know, if you want to play those games, you have to buy them. You have the Game Pass option, and that's still on the table. They're not taking that away from you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if you can't buy the console this late into the game and you haven't bought it and you want to play those Xbox games, go get a Fire Stick. There are other options. You don't have to spend $700 on a PlayStation 5 Pro over here, or, the Series X. Go ahead and buy that in order to play these games. You have access to them in other ways.
It's a reality.
This is a reminder. I'm just gonna say this real quick. This is a reminder, real quick, that to everybody, that these are companies, bro, trying to make money. The fact that Xbox is putting everything everywhere is because it's convenient to them. They wouldn't have done it otherwise. They realized that the exclusive model is outdated, and then now everything should be played everywhere, and that's what they're doing it. So being attached to these companies in an emotional level like that is not healthy for you, man. Just understand this, that you love their product and they love your money. So it's got to be like a relationship, right? 50-50, in which you get what you
At
want
least they
from
don't
them.
take advantage
Right.
of their power.
You get what you want of them, and they get what they want from you. But also, we got to keep in mind that these companies will take advantage of you, if they get the choice. And look, the price increase for the consoles is something that doesn't worry me anymore. I'm more concerned about the $80 games, because I feel like that's an epidemic that's going to spread throughout PC as well. So on the side of things of PC, usually games are not like that. But the $70 games have made an appearance, here and there on PC. For example, a game like Kingdom Come Deliverance was $70 on the console and $60 on the PC on Steam, which is that's what I bought the game. And that's what I would do. And that's what you should be doing too. Take a look at these stores, and see what you can get it cheaper and get it there.
Epidemic
That's
right
just what it
now.
is.
Console people don't have that opportunity to do that, but
they
come
will.
next gen. They will. The
Even
question
this
is
gen.
is Xbox going to roll it into the older consoles? Because that would be real crazy too.
CMoney, they still had the choice, because you can still use GeForce Now to play your Steam library. So that's another choice. You can buy your games on Steam and stream it on GeForce Now, which is available also on the Xbox and in many TVs as well. So the options are there. I believe that Xbox is doing what they need to do to keep going, or whatever, what every other company is going to do and will do. And like Simon is saying, I think that's a part that we got to make it clear for people thinking that we are defending this and what we want. Because I think that people just like, like bending like what we're talking about and making it seem like we're trying to justify the price increase. We're just telling you that regardless of what you're saying, they're going to do what they're going to do because they're companies, right? We don't have to be okay with it. We can raise our voice and be like, okay, this is fucked up. We still don't want it, but we can be blind to to the facts that of what everything is going on right now in the gaming industry and where we're heading. So I think that is like sort of like, they making it seem like we're trying to defend this, and we are truly not. We're just saying that it happens, and we can talk about it, but they're gonna do what the fuck they're gonna do. No matter what, we're still gonna buy the games. That's how it is.
Yeah, I mean, we're not leaving, right? If you're leaving, that's a different story, but I'm not, right? So I understand that nobody wants to spend more money. I don't. That's why we have Game Pass. If I didn't care, I would say, well, I want to own my games. I won't have Game Pass. I want to own my games. Okay, that would be me if I didn't care, right? And I was like, fuck it. The money don't matter. I want to buy all this shit that I want to buy. Great. How many games are released in April? 6, 7, 8?
Yeah.
$400. No problem. Fuck yeah. I could have spent 20, but no.
Yeah.
No. I
believe Game Pass still makes sense, and it's still a great deal. Buying an Xbox console is still a great deal.
And
don't be thinking that, because I see some ponies saying that now the PlayStation 5 Pro is the best deal. And I'm gonna tell you right now, bro, I don't think so. You can still find Xbox, like cheap Xbox out there, like the Xbox Series X. Like, I mean, and why are people complaining too? Another reason is like nobody wanted the Xbox, so why are the people complaining about the price increase? Because nobody wanted it. So everyone was like, oh, hey, people won't give a shit. Let's see if it's true. And look, little did we know that everybody loves Xbox and they want one now. So I mean, that's just one way to look at it, and it's kind of weird, right? Yeah. So for the people out there wondering, yeah, we don't want to pay more, but I mean, sadly, it is what it is. It's like gas at the gas station. We don't want to buy gas at the gas station, but we got no choice because that's all it is. And the same thing happened in gaming, in PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo. Everything is going up in price. Look at Nintendo came out here with that controller with $80 controller or something like that, with the regular buttons and shit. And we tired of talking about about many other options with controllers, like Power A Fusion, the Recon, and the Razer controllers being very, very cheap with buttons in the back, trigger stops, and things of this sort, giving you a better deal in peripherals. So the options are there. You don't have to buy the Xbox Elite. You can just go ahead and do like I did, and I didn't want to pay the $200 for the Elite, so I got me the Wolverine Tournament Edition, and it's got trigger stops, buttons in the back, only $100. Guys.
Let me see demo. Let me see. Hold on.
Yeah. Okay, here.
Turn it. Which one?
That's that Razer.
That's that Razer.
Oh, Razer, yes.
Fire. I love it. Everything is nice and clicky. It's just a dope controller for a cheap price. So guys, the same things go with consoles. I mean, you don't have to go ahead and buy from Amazon. You can just go ahead and go to a store, Best Buy or whatever, and they have deals still. Like they're telling you this is they increasing the prices, but the truth is the deals still exist. The same thing happened with the PlayStation, right? Then they hide the prices, and now they have a Astrobot bundle for $300 or something, $400. Something like that. So I mean, just the fact everybody thinking that this is Armageddon, and this is really not Armageddon. This is just like a regular thing that happens. I don't know, have Xbox increased the price of the consoles before? I think they did it.
Yes,
before
they have outside of the US.
Yeah. All right. So now is the turn of the US. They did increase it in Brazil. I think that's one of the places that people complain the most about. I think the Xbox was really expensive in Brazil. But I mean, that's it, guys. It's just like I mean, if just pick with your wallet. If you don't want to buy an Xbox, don't buy an Xbox. Play with a cloud. You know, it is what it is. At the end of the day, I mean, what choice do you have? This is console gaming for you. This is console gaming for you. You don't get the freedom that you get in other places. You know, and now hopefully Xbox can change that about, you know, console gaming, bringing more stores into the ecosystems to give you again more options. So I mean, it's just a matter of time before everything, I think, you know, gets better. We just got to go through, you know, through some rough patches right now, and then, you know, we'll see. But it just made me wonder, guys. I don't know if you guys are gonna talk about it, probably, you know. But what do you guys think about the handheld? What the price point is going to be now, based on what we're seeing here now? We thought it was gonna be something cheap. Now it might be something a little bit more expensive than when we anticipated. And the same thing goes for the new generation consoles, both PlayStation and Xbox, based on the prices that Nintendo and, you know, and all of that giving us. What Nintendo's still last gen, and they're still charging.
Yeah,
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 it's
it's
crazy.
literally last gen. They're doing the same thing they
Yeah.
did with the Switch One. When the Switch
Mhm.
One launched, they were a gen behind, and then the new gen came out, and they were 2 gens behind. That's the way that they've been working, and now this is what they're doing again. They're coming out, they're a gen behind in power, but the next gen's about to come out, so they'll be 2 gens behind in power in a year or two. So this is just what they do, and it's crazy. But power, price wise, I think we talked about it on the last show. But I don't think there's a world where we live in that we're going to see a next gen console that's less than $800. And then the handheld, honestly, I don't think Xbox is going to make a Nintendo Switch 2 power level. I think they'll go higher. Minimum will be the Series S power, I would say. But even if they're gonna make it geared towards the next gen, honestly, I would imagine $500 to $600 for a handheld from Xbox. That's what would make sense to me based off all the pricing that we're at right now. Um, so I just see it. I just see it that way. And but that being said, just like, return true. I appreciate you, kind of putting that out there. Because there's a lot of people who think like that, right? And there are a lot of people who are emotional right now
Yeah.
with the way they're reacting. I think that's why people get so upset at us, because we're not emotional about this. We understand. We're thinking logically about this. We're seeing what's taking place. I'm not gonna fucking cry. That's some pab ass shit out here. You know what I'm saying? Like this is what we're seeing out here with a bunch of grown ass dudes coming out here crying about this shit. It's like, fam, like, what do you? I mean, listen, I want Xbox to succeed. I want Xbox to make money because that's how we get games, right? That's how it happens. That being said, I really don't give a fuck about the way they do their business. If they charge $80 for a game and people are not buying as many copies, I don't give a fuck as long as I'm getting Game Pass. That's all this relationship equates to me is Microsoft makes money, takes money, puts it into Game Pass. Game Pass games come to me. I enjoy. I wait for next Game Pass game to enter. Comes to me. I enjoy. That is the relationship I give a shit about. I have Game Pass. I don't care that they raise their prices to $80 because Game Pass games are free to me. That doesn't matter to me because the dollars make sense. The consoles, raise them all the way the fuck up you want. Don't matter to me. I have 5 of those motherfuckers already. I don't care if they go up in price for other people who chose to let Xbox be second fiddle in their minds or third fiddle. That's a personal fucking problem. Maybe next time choose better, right? Oops. That's where I'm at. I don't really give a fuck about any of this shit that these people are crying about. You're not a savior. Nobody's looking at you on Twitter with your posts like you're a hero. You're not. You're not. You're not a hero. You're just out here
And I
hoping
mean, if
that people are going to click the like button when you say something like, I'm not going to stand by corporations doing shit, except you're going to keep paying for Game Pass and you're going to keep playing their games no matter where you get them. So shut the fuck up because you're not doing shit. You're not doing shit. You're not. You're not. None of you are. Not one. Not one of you people who are talking shit are going to change what you're doing. So you are all full of shit and you think you're more important than you are. No one cares. No one cares. That's the reality.
And I mean, if you're going to take this righteousness, then we should be seeing this behavior constantly because there's a lot of bad out there, right? It's just so selective. My girl, Michelle Alexandra, is here, and I just want to click on her comment. I'm going to read it over here because I can zoom in. Michelle, what's good, love? Happy Friday. She says, Doodle, I have my Series X and 2 years of Game Pass for $15 a month. Why should I care about this?
You know why? Because you're in the ecosystem. And what has Xbox always done? Xbox is always taking care of the people who were already in the ecosystem. When they made that change to Game Pass, what did they do? They left everybody who was on that plan that they took away. They left you right the fuck there. They didn't say, fuck you, we're changing this shit so you're out. No. If you're paying $10 for regular Game Pass, that's where you stood. They didn't just fucking drop you. They let you keep that shit, right? Anybody new? That's a personal problem. Oh, what happened? You like to get Game Pass for a month and then cancel it and then get it again and then cancel it, and you think that they're supposed to cater to you, you stupid motherfucker? No, you're trying to beat the system. You're trying to beat the system.
And you know what's crazy?
So the system
when that
beat
was
you. That's it. That's just the way it is,
and
man.
the system finally caught up to you because a lot of people got away with that. A lot of people even brought up the fact that they would sign up with different emails for that $1 a month, right? And it's like, obviously, you don't want that to change, but you're affecting how much those of us that are just paying a month, how we are getting charged, right? How much we're going to pay because you're finding a way to cheat the system. If you just sign up like everybody else, right? Or use it that one time and then say, okay, well, I like Game Pass. I'm going to continue to go ahead and have the subscription. Then we wouldn't have to pick up the slack of the mess that you're making. So it finally caught up and they had to make things right. Yes, who the heck wants anybody stealing from them? Who?
Facts. It's so stupid, dude. It's so stupid. I cannot with these people, bro. I don't know who the fuck they think they are, who they think that they're coming out and protect. Like, you're not doing that, dog. Like, you know how you do it? Show the receipts. Show that you're so mad that you canceled your shit. Because if you're not willing to cancel it, you ain't doing shit. You think your words are a weapon? No. The only thing Microsoft gives a shit is dollars. If a mass amount of people stop subscribing to Game Pass, they bought none of the games, they stopped doing all that shit, then Microsoft will be like, whoa, what the fuck is happening here? But if you're not willing to do that and you're just saying words that no one cares about, I'm sorry, but you're just a joke, yo. You're just a joke, and you're embarrassing yourself. So stop. The homie, other Zig in the building. What's up, man?
Good
Thank you so much for being here, man.
Thank you for rocking
Appreciate
out.
you. Says it
That's
isn't that you are calm, is that you and Doodle are not some bullshit like these other extra motherfuckers. Facts, yo. Facts.
Thank you.
Saint G says, "Yup, so fake. I hate that shit." Yeah, I mean, it's the reality. He says, but CMoney, they kept it real and gave them the smoke. Such performative nonsense. I gotta tell you, honestly, I'm like dead ass. I hate with a passion when I hear people say that we gotta give them the smoke. If you say I'm not, doesn't mean I don't
verbiage
hate the people who
alone.
say it.
The
I
verbiage.
just hate the situation of somebody saying we have to give them the smoke. You don't have to do a goddamn thing. You have to decide whether you want to keep the service or you don't want to keep the service.
I mean,
Those are the only two
yeah.
options. If you're going to stay with A and keep the service, then keep your mouth shut, because all you're doing is just what he said. It's performative. You are talking to people out there as if this upset you so much that you're out.
If you're that upset, there should be consequences to how upset you are, no? Other than just saying I'm upset and making this big deal. If I found that the company is so bad, right? Why would I be investing in them?
Exactly.
Right?
100%.
So it doesn't make any sense.
It
The
doesn't.
moment that PlayStation took that dip and stopped making freaking Naughty Dog get like all these games that they're known for, I mean, the moment you stop buying that console and you stop trusting the brand, right? So I'm just saying, if you're that outraged, but things will completely stay the same, where you're going to continue to buy the games or stay in Game Pass and keep your box, what's the point of what's taking place?
100%.
So that what? They don't you're hoping that they don't raise the prices and Nintendo keeps their prices high and you're going to still buy the Nintendo games and give Nintendo, which is not your platform of preference, more money than the platform that you're supposed to support, because that is your platform of preference and the one that you want continuing to make games that you love. I mean, make it make sense.
It doesn't. It doesn't. Infinite Hero comes and says, what happens when Game Pass gets that inevitable bump in price? I'm just tired of being gouged from every angle these days. There's no relief anywhere? Question mark. Okay, so
I addressed that, by the way.
Yeah, of course. We've said it multiple times, but he answers it. It's the inevitable jump. It's gonna happen, right? This is gonna happen. And this is the thing. A subscription service, again, it's on them to make it worth it, right? I use the example all the time. Netflix. Bro, I don't want to look at the price. I don't. I know it's stupid expensive. We have the family. We have the family plan with everything that we have everything on it. I'm pretty sure we pay like $35 for Netflix. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But I try to forget about it. You know why?
Because they message us
I fucking
like every
want
3
Netflix.
seconds telling us that their prices went up, and I'm not going to cancel Netflix.
Dude, I want Netflix. They have what I want. So I'm not going to cancel. So I'm going to sit there and fucking cry every time that shit comes out my account. But guess what? It's worth it to me because I want it. Am I going to say, wow, they went up in price? Fuck them. No, because you know why? I'm not stupid. Everything goes up in price. It's always whether it's worth it for me to keep it. So Infinite Hero, if Game Pass goes up tomorrow to $25 a month instead of $20, then my friend, you're going to have to do some soul searching. And you're going to have to say to yourself, does the $5 extra a month mean more to me than canceling and going up to 70, 80, 60, 50 for one game? And then in a month where they release 6 games, if they're all 50, that's $300 versus the 25. My friend, you're going to have to do the math for yourself, just like every single person is going to have to. I could tell you right now, I'm not saying that I want, like, don't be fucking stupid. I'm not saying, please charge me more money. But am I gonna stay here and sit here in front of you all and say that if tomorrow Game Pass became $25 versus 20, that I'm gonna riot, that I'm going to cancel? Fam, I'm sorry, but when I do the math, it
You say
well
winning.
outweighs
Winning.
20, 25, 30. Let's call a fucking spade a spade. If that bitch was $50 a month, it would be worth it if you buy multiple games in any given month.
I mean, look at April. Do the math with everything that they put in there, and they still charge the same $20
stupid.
though,
Like, of
right? They
course
didn't
it's gonna
say,
go
okay,
up.
look at the amount of games we're putting in this month.
The thing is that they are the relief. You said there's no relief anywhere. They are the relief.
Mhm.
They're the only relief. Fam, at $20, where else can you game? If you had $20 in your pocket and you had all 3 consoles, new game comes out, where the fuck can you play the newest, biggest, best games for the $20 you have in your pocket? You tell me.
Now listen to that. And then imagine going to the supermarket with $20. You will leave with eggs and bread. And there's your $20. All right. So listen to what they're charging you a month.
Bro,
I mean, I'm just saying, no one wants to pay more ever.
no
right?
one.
But
Nobody.
the
The richest
reality
people in the
is,
world. The dude that looks at his
prices go
account
up.
and sees $1 million will fucking fight tooth and nail not to spend an extra dollar if they don't need to. Nobody is okay spending more than they have to. But you always got to remember that that shit ain't yours. You don't own Xbox. You don't own Microsoft. It is theirs to do what they want, and it is up to you to decide whether it is worth your dollar. Not your words, not your fucking words, your dollars.
So that's
because if you're still going to keep spending the money, then shut the fuck up, because you're full of shit and you're not doing anything but putting on a performance. Like my man Shane G said, it's all a performance. I saw the other thing he wrote. Wait, where is it? I loved what he wrote. Hold on, where'd that fucking shit go? Oh, here we go. Here we go. I love this shit right here. Xbox super duper accountable, and I keep it the most super realist and garner up more smoke than usually possible to give Xbox just so some pony scum can like my tweet. Get the fuck out of here. You're a fucking loser if you do that, bro. Oh my God, I saw that dude. I saw you out there talking to those ponies. Hey, you should give CMoney some smoke in your videos and not just the ponies. Okay, let me write it down. Okay, I'm gonna find a video and I'm gonna talk shit about CMoney and other people who are not crying. Go fuck yourself, you fucking losers. Oh my God. Woo, it's hilarious. You know what's the beauty about not being emotional and just using the facts and logic?
You guys are real emotional. I'll just say that.
Oh, no.
Overly.
The basis of it is all facts and logic. I don't care about anything else because it all just makes sense. If you're willing to keep the subscription, then all the bullshit you're talking means nothing. Right? You're looking for a therapy session, right? You want to go and say something and have somebody say, man, it's going to be okay, dog. We'll get through it. I know you're not going to buy any of these higher price Xboxes because you already got them, but it has to hurt your heart. It has to hurt your heart that somebody else is. And when you bought it on sale, I know it hurt your heart that somebody else bought it at regular price. They spent more money. Come on, man. We ain't the ones, dog. We ain't the ones. Ask about us, bro. Ask about us in these streets. They know. There's a lot less motherfuckers running around, right? Just saying. Go ahead, Hargeet. I feel I feel so bad because this has been a very fueled session and you've been patiently waiting to get
I will
some
take a much more
bars.
calm and rational approach. I'm not inflamed by any. I don't care what other people say because I'm not on Twitter or any of that shit. So when people say things, it just does not even faze me because I haven't seen it. And I honestly don't care what other people's opinions are about stuff that I say. If they don't like it, they can F off. That's always been
You said what I
that's
just
the
said.
way
You
it is,
just
right?
said it calmly and in peace. You didn't
Yeah,
say,
I'll just do what I.
Huggy.
yeah, I gotta.
Right.
We
Oh my God,
speak
I'm
with
pissed off.
passion.
I gotta let
That's
you know
who
what
we
it really
are.
means. You know.
We
What I'm saying?
tell
So-
when we're not mad.
Yeah, right. To the original the post that we brought up, as far as like the community support stuff, you're right. They were doing a lot of that, and well, $80 billion got spent. And I'm sorry, but unfortunately now corporate's like, we need to look at your books and why are you spending this extra money here? And hence the watch party's gone. Do you think that costs that much that they can't afford to freaking do it? Of course they can do it, but they're not going to. Why? They're like, why are you spending and wasting money? Now here's the problem, okay? And why this all happens. I will blame Xbox for doing some of it, but you have to also look at the industry they're in. Nintendo decided to pull their E3 presentations, right? They decided to stop doing it, right? Once that happened, and they don't do fan fests, they don't do equivalents anymore. Well, why should Xbox keep doing it? And that was eventually going to happen. So Xbox, like Phil kept trying to say, no, we should keep doing this. We need to create the enthusiasm. We need to, keep the community engaged, right? All that fun stuff. But at some point, you have to justify that. And if it's not working, right? If it's that, oh, you know what? They stopped doing it and their console sales dipped and, their software sales dipped and they're not making as much profit or anything like that. But that wasn't what was happening. What was happening was Xbox's consoles weren't selling and they were still spending all that money. And on top of that, their competitors said, well, we're just going to charge you what our costs are or charge you more than our costs and make profit on our consoles. And Xbox is sitting here saying, well, we're taking like a $200 bath every time we sell this thing to you. What's going on? Right. And so again, Phil has to then go up to management now and say, well, we do that because we are trying to be good to our community and try to gain customers. And okay, so and how many quarters has that worked? And this is unfortunately just the reality of how it is, right? Because you can just see what's happening at that level. You can just imagine the meeting, right? You're sitting there with the CFO, you're sitting there with the CEO. And saying, okay, well, I did this to, bring in more customers. I got a $300 and we're probably taking a $150 bath on every one of this $300 console, which by the way, still is the cheapest way to get into the next gen or current gen, right? It's still the cheapest way, right? Even Nintendo is $450. The original all digital console is still available for PlayStation at $400 on their site, but I don't know if it's available anywhere else. But their general is the Slim, which is $450, right? So you still 380 still can get in cheaper than anyone else. But still, I'm not going to say that that's a great thing, but it is what it is, right? But you can just see what that conversation's like, right? It's fine when you're the little offshoot sitting on the side and nobody pays attention. That's not where they are anymore. Now they're a big pillar. They're bringing in tons of money. And that money flows into every corporate report. And they have to now tell the shareholders, this is how much you got from Xbox, right? And if they keep saying, -6%, -5%, whatever it is for every quarter on the hardware, negative this. They're like, why is it negative? And the reason is negative is because every time they're freaking paying you to buy the stupid box. And they're like, you know what? Why? If our competitors aren't doing it, right? And so CEO Satya Nadella sits there and go, why are we doing this? Why are we taking a bath from this if they're not taking a bath? What's the reason we're doing this? Has it worked? No? Then why are we doing it? And that's unfortunately just the decision he has to go through, right? So I can see it. Now, I'm not going to excuse it. I don't like it. As a consumer, I'm like, this is kind of annoying, but I totally get it from a business perspective. It is what it is, right? They're just stopping the whole taking a bath, right? And people keep saying it's the tariffs. No, that's not why the price increased in UK. That's not why the price increased in Europe. That's not why the price increased in Australia. It's going to increase everywhere in the world. And the increase is because they are done taking a bath. That's it. They're just done taking a bath, right? If, again, their competitors are doing this stuff, then they would continue to do it, right? The community engagement, how much of that is there on PlayStation side? Anyone? Is there a lot of community engagement?
Nothing.
They just basically say, bend over and take it. And guess what happens? They take it. And if that's the market reaction, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen on the other side? How long can Phil keep shielding you? Unfortunately, that ship has sailed. When they bought $70 billion ABK, they bought $7.5 billion Bethesda. It's over. They can't now play this game of trying to shield you. They're a major part of a massive multi-trillion-dollar corporation, and they have to show the books and the returns. And they can't keep saying, "Oh, you know what? We should keep taking a bath, even though it's not working." Why? Right? So I, like Ed Lafferty said, I was expecting them to kind of just ride this out for this gen, but next gen, they are not taking a bath. They're going to sell at profit. You can just deal with it. It's going to be at profit. Like you were saying, $800. That's likely it. The floor is 700 now, because that's what the PS5 Pro is. The floor is 700. I think it's going to be 800, very likely.
It's never going to be 800. There's no way
Xbox
is going to look at the PlayStation 5 Pro and be like,
it's going to be like that.
And we're going to make our next gen. No, they're going to do it for more. They have to also, like, there is a place for like the visual aspect of it, right? Like you see something $730 and something that's 700. What is the question? Well, what's better about this, right? Why is it more money? You don't want that question. You want to make it very simple. Is 800, 850, 900? Because look at what PlayStation 5 Pro is, and that's nothing. That being said, I think you can agree, as much as next gen is going to be that much money, we are not in the typical situation going forward. I think now this gen is not going anywhere.
It's going to
this gen is not leaving. This gen is a gen that's going to stick around for the entirety of the next gen. So it's like, it's not about anymore getting the next gen because you're going to be left out if you don't, because at this point I don't think Microsoft gives a fuck. Like, they want the games to be everywhere. So this is going to be the first time where buying that system, $800, $900, is going to be like you and me wondering how we're going to get our 4090 or our 5090. We don't need that shit to play the games, but we just want to have that shit look the best and be the best. So the people who want that will go ahead and spend that money. I'm not saying that it's cool. I'm not saying that it should be. I wish the 5090 cost the price of a fucking 3080. You know what I'm saying? That would be sweet. Even though I can't even find one of those fucking things.
Series S. I mean, let's make real wishes.
You look at the graphics, and those are ridiculously priced as well. And you know that's just the way it is, right? So it's not like PC has been going down in price; it's been going up in price. Those components are getting ridiculous too. So look, you know, is this a good thing that they've increased their prices? No, it's not. Is it is it something that's gonna kill you? No. If you're gonna buy it, you can choose to go either direction. It's still about the same as their competitors, right? The equivalent was the Switch at $300. That's gone, right? Now it's gonna be replaced by the 450 Switch 2. So the lowest denominator here really still is Xbox, right? They're giving you a Series S at 380, right? That's still the cheapest console. Right now,
how much is the PlayStation 5 Slim?
The Slim is $450, but they still have on their website. They still have the old, release edition, digital editions PS5 for $400. So you can still buy that if you wanted to, at least in the US. I don't know if it's
still the cheapest way into this gen.
So Series S is still the cheapest way, right? By $20, but it's not the end of the world. But that's up to you to decide what the value is for you, right? Because you then have to figure out if you want Game Pass or not, if you want their service or not. You have to play that whole thing in your head and figure out, just like you were saying, if Game Pass goes up in price, that's a per person decision, right? If you only play like 3 games out of Game Pass a year, you might say, this is already shit, I don't need it, right? It's fine. And Phil said that it's not for everyone, right? If you, however, play like 3 games a month out of it, like, oh gee, I'm getting quite a bit of value out of this, then fair enough, it's good for you, right? You have to figure out what the value is for you. And that's just the way it's going to go. And
you can also stop when it's not a value to you, right?
Yeah, exactly. Market will determine when, if you make it $700 a month and somebody's like, well, I'm not going to pay that much. Obviously, it's just going to go away. People will just decide, I'm not going to subscribe, right? So they will have to test that market as they keep going up. That's up to them, right? They'll figure that out. But, as far as like the price increases, I'm not happy about it. But did I see it coming? Sure. I've expected them to do this. I just expected them to wait out the next gen. But now, to your point, that next gen was supposed to be next year. It moved to the year after, and now you're like, well, do you keep taking a bath on this? And they're like, nope, we're done. So, so they're just going to increase the price. Everybody will blame tariffs, including, they might just use that shield and say, oh, it's the tariffs. It's not the tariffs. They just wanted to get rid of this stupid thing of taking a bath on these things. They're going to get as much as they can out of it now and try to minimize their hit. That's really it. They're at the end of that generation anyway, right? So they're like, however many more we sell, 5, 10 million, whatever it is, we're just done taking a bath on it. Normally what ends up happening is costs go down over time, but costs have not gone down this generation. Unfortunately, it's, you're not seeing that. Hey, we went from 7 to 6 to 5 to 4 nanometer. It's just not doable. It's very hard to get there. The tech is just not getting there, and it's too expensive. So for them to try to cost cut, they've been able to do minor cost cutting, but not enough to substantially reduce the cost enough to give you a break on the cost. So unfortunately, they're still taking a bath on these things. And so they're like, okay, we're just done with it. And that's why they're switching. It's fine. I get it. I don't like it, but I get it from a business perspective. I understand where they are. To that point of like, does it feel like they're not as community friendly anymore? Fair enough. That again is going to happen, right? They're just, some of these programs are just going to be kind of dwindled down. And it's mostly because nobody else is doing them. If everybody else did them too, they would have to do that. Xbox has continued the tradition for a while now. When's the last time you had a showcase from freaking PlayStation? When have you had a showcase from Nintendo? They just have these little directs. That's all they do anymore. They don't even care. So
They don't
why
even give you a hype? They say, "Hey, it's gonna be here tomorrow."
This
Tune in tomorrow.
Really
like, what?
and as you found out, right? Like we said, I told you that Switch is just gonna sell out. It's gonna sell out anyway, right? The Switch 2 is gone, instantaneously gone, right? Everywhere in the world, instantaneously. They can't keep up with the demand, right? And so it's gonna sell. And so the 450 didn't matter, right? So when you say that the
didn't matter,
and even that didn't matter. I told you, like, people are just gonna buy it anyway. They're gonna win. It's stupid. It's annoying. I don't understand why that game's $80, but people are gonna buy it anyway. It is what it is. They're gonna,
just like we told you from the beginning. Once everybody else sees that Nintendo can go away and do it, they're gonna do it.
You're telling me that's like that? Then Forza Horizon 6 comes out, and you're saying that's not gonna be $80? Excuse me?
Come on, man. Like, don't be stupid. Like, I can understand not wanting to spend more money, right? Like, that's fine. But like, don't then go ahead and try to crucify them for doing what was done before them. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Don't be fucking crazy.
I'm not gonna, like, because they could choose not to do it. That's fair. That's fair. But as a business, they're gonna do whatever the industry is gonna allow them to do. And unfortunately, if your competitors are doing it, they're going to follow suit. Like the $70 thing, they held off, but eventually they caved. Why? Everybody else did it. And they're like, okay, hell with it, right? Why are we going to do this? Right? And now they own the big game, Call of Duty, that was one of the first to do 70, right? It was Take-Two, and then it was Activision that, followed suit. And the reason for that is simple. That game is going to sell, period. It doesn't matter. They're going to put it out, and everybody can say it's what was the last with the Modern Warfare 3? What was the score for that? Like 40 something? It still broke all the records on sales. It doesn't matter. People are going to buy it anyway.
It's the same shit.
They're going to buy it anyway.
That the Switch
they're going to win.
Is going to be out, and more than likely we'll be getting this Call of Duty, if I'm not mistaken. I think this is the
they should be getting Black Ops 6. I would think they should be getting that as well.
But
I don't know.
Worst case, they should definitely be getting the new one, right?
But they'll
so
definitely
imagine being on Nintendo Switch, releasing Call of Duty, the biggest game, best game everywhere in the world, as far as like numbers wise, right? What people spend money on. And imagine saying, we're going to be $70 for Call of Duty on the Switch, but Mario Kart is 80. You know what I'm saying? Like, get the fuck out of here. That's crazy.
It was gonna we were all screaming this. So like, okay, if they do this $80 thing, you know what's coming next, right? Everybody else is gonna do it too.
You're giving too many people too much credit. They
It's
weren't
like,
all
it's like it was
many
obvious that this was gonna happen. You're like, why wouldn't they? Like, these people are waiting. They're waiting to get the price up. And if freaking GTA comes out at 90, because they're like, you're 80, I'm worth more than that. 90, 100. Then what happens? Then everybody else decides. So, there's going to be games that will say, I think I'm at that level. Why not? And there are some that are at that level. How much money do you think goes into making a Call of Duty every year? A lot. So are they going to say, oh, you sold that for 90? Okay, we're going to go to 90. So, this is a viable thing that's going to happen. It sucks. It totally sucks. I get it. But yes, that whole like trying to be nice, trying to be friendly to the community thing, well, has that really worked? Maybe a little bit, but not really.
But
a
dude,
lot.
the backlash that imagine
It's what
spending
it
all
is.
that money trying to be the nice guy, and you're the only people. And listen, we made a video on this over a year ago, a long time ago, definitely a long time ago, where we said that Xbox fans were soft. Imagine being Xbox, being the nice guys, doing everything they can to be the nice guys. And anytime anything comes out, they fucking turn on you like you're fucking a piece of shit.
Yeah.
There are people over there, dude. Don't act like Microsoft as the entity is not run by fucking humans, bro. How am I gonna? I said it the last show. I don't know how people do this shit. I grew up. You don't bite the hand that feeds you, fam. Like that's just what it is.
Yeah.
So how many times you think they're gonna sit there and look at Twitter and get fucking tagged about fire fucking Phil? They don't know what they're doing. They're the fucking worst. They suck dick. Pretty sure somebody said that. Listen, before they look at it and it's like, what the fuck? Yo, Doodle said it 100% when that fucking the thing got announced that they're not doing Fan Fest. The last time there was a Fan Fest was before all the news broke about going to fucking all the other games coming, right? It was just 4 games last time.
Yeah.
Now the news broke, more games are going. Imagine having a show go on to get people in there that supposedly are fans, and then they go and put a trailer up or do something, and then at the end of the fucking trailer, there's a PlayStation fucking logo there, and people start booing or talking shit and doing stupid shit. Can you imagine? Like, you ungrateful little shits.
You know, because someone is going to record that clip and they're going to circulate that over.
At a certain point, they did it to themselves.
Well, we will find out because we're still doing the group viewing thing, right? So, but we'll find out.
But it's not on their...
but it's not through Xbox. So
yes,
it's going to be more community driven because it's going to be through you guys. Like, it's going to be like, I know you, I know you. Like,
they
who
get
the fuck
attacked
are you?
by their fans, just like they get attacked by the gallopers. Right,
and,
so it's like, what's the point of even trying?
If it was constructive, it'd be different.
Exactly,
but
it's not.
They're fucking
sometimes
crazy.
it is, but a lot of times it's just baloney, right?
Bro, especially on Twitter, bro. Like, you're not on there, dude.
Exactly, which is why I'm not on these things, because
but you know who is
go
on there?
nuts, and
you know who is on there?
Come on,
Xbox, Phil, all these people, Sarah, all these people who run this fucking ship are there getting tagged, saying all types of crazy shit nonstop when the other fucking team doesn't even have their players on the field. Nobody from PlayStation is on Twitter talking to these fucking people. Nobody from Nintendo's out here talking to their fans.
That's what I'm. That's been the problem, right? They're the ones doing it. And it's like, well, how is this going to continue?
I would have done
the same. That they've kind of come down, right? It's not happening as much anymore.
Yeah,
right? And it's because the other side doesn't do it. And they're like, if they're not going to engage with their customers and it continues to keep working, then why should we, right? And it's the strategy is going to keep working. That's the problem, right? They're going to keep making money. All 3 of them are going to keep making money. And if you don't want that to change, then because the only way that works is you disengage, right? You have to disengage. Good luck. It's going to be very hard to disengage with Xbox now. It's going to be very hard because they've got the games. And that's just the way it is. So you can decide that you're not going to play any of those games. Okay, cool. Do that. Right? Like you guys were saying, show the receipts, because unfortunately that's the way it is. If you're not on Game Pass and you're not going to buy any of these games on any platform, cool. Otherwise, they're going to keep winning. And that's how it's been. That's why PlayStation acts the way they do, because they know they've got you as a captive audience. You don't freaking put their money where your money where your mouth is. You don't push them to do things that you need them to do. So guess what? They don't have to. Well, you have a dearth of games now. You like that? That's the way it is. They don't care. They literally just put a showcase out, a state of play for a third-party game, and like not a week before, they put out a freaking tweet about their own first-party game. Who does that?
Who does
Seriously, they don't care. They just don't care. They don't care because you customers for PlayStation don't push it. So fine, guess what? That's what you're going to get from all of them. Because if it works there, then it's going to work for everybody else. And that's the sad reality of it. So yes, we did have a community-based thing. Yes, it was kind of trying to pull you in via community engagement. And yeah, it's going to feel like it's not there anymore because it isn't. And that's just the way it is. So unfortunate. But if there's no competitive equivalent, they have no need to waste the money. Because ultimately, yes, if you're a side shoot project in a large company like that, you can keep doing those things. Once you become a pillar in a major company like that, they're going to scrutinize all the money. That's the way it goes. They're going to want that profit to go directly to shareholders. So that's where they are now. Sorry. That's kind of what it is.
Facts.
It's funny. It's funny that you said that, Harky, because it is really true. Like, Sony PlayStation does nothing for the community. Nintendo doesn't even move a finger for their people. The only ones out here trying to be community guys are Xbox. And like you guys said, they're still getting, all this criticism. And, it's okay to criticize them too, but just do it like, for real. Just don't be doing it because you want people to believe that you feel a certain type of way. This got to come from the heart. Like you have to be with it, and you have to be consistent as well. Because I think people criticizing Xbox, but they were the ones capping for the PlayStation 5 Pro. How can you criticize Xbox about the prices or Nintendo when you were perfectly fine with them? So I believe that if you stay consistent, like, it'll make more sense. It'll be like, sort of like your personality, like, okay, you're gonna say this, but some other people just did it for the clicks, man. And when you use shit for the clicks, it shows, man, and you look goofy. So like I said, this is not Armageddon. This is not like, it is annoying. Like Harky said, I think it's the most like the proper word to use is annoying. It's more like, an inconvenience, but at the end of the day, they were out there thrown off. Nobody wanted them. We kept kept having this back and forth. Like, why is people not buying into the ecosystem? But it turns out that now they won. And you know what? This might be a reason to, because these motherfuckers they have the high mentality, and they have the belief that something is better because it's a little bit more expensive. So it just goes with the way that people are moving. Like we say here, speak with your wallet. Stop trying to be a rapper. If you're a gamer, stop trying to be a rapper. And flex your collections and your controllers and like all these like junk, right? And stop doing that. And trying to tell people that you support the devs and then you rather pay more money for your games. And stop telling people that you're okay paying $100 for GTA. We're gonna pay it, but we're not happy about it. So just be real about it all the time. Just like that's just how it is. But some people just don't know how to give constructive criticism. And my belief is that Xbox should have, like Harky said, wait until next generation to go ahead and do these price hikes. But like Harky says it too, they were giving you the console basically like for free and you didn't take it. So they might as well just cut their losses and be like, we're going to stop losing money. If people really want it, they can go ahead and get it. And if not, we are providing other options for more people to play. And look, it is true that Xbox, gives sometimes this, like, I would say, this sprinkles of, community and warmth, right? It makes you feel like almost like they care. But the reality is they're not here to make money, bro. They just try to make you happy. They try to make you slide. Like, you ever been to a restaurant and you see how nice is the the waitress? She's like, "Hi, how are you? My name is."
She just wants her tip, right?
She goes to the back and talk shit about you if you say something wrong.
Exactly.
But
Oh
listen,
my God,
you know
that
what?
guy
It
sucked.
beats the one that comes out here and feels entitled to get a certain tip from you, and they did an ass job, right? Half-ass job. So
That's Xbox. Xbox is the one that comes out and puts on the dance for you. Like, hey, what's up, everybody?
Yeah.
I'll get you a drink. Don't worry about it. Right?
You need that refill?
That's Xbox. The other ones are the entitled ones.
Get your own drink. Here's your box.
Shit.
Bag your own shit. Like I'm just saying, it's all a part of the experience. Listen, I happily spend my money where I'm happy. right? Rather than to feel that hostile, energy.
Facts.
But
And
it's crazy because the developer's dream did come true. We did see, some videos of them saying, I don't care, charge me 80, 90, $100 for the games. They said they wanted to pay more. So
You know,
So you know,
I-
Everborn Saga has this saying, right? That yeah, it's not show friends, it's show business, because ultimately they're in it to make money. They're not in it to make you happy. They're really in it to make money. So if you being happy is part of that, great. But ultimately, they're just looking to extract dollars from your wallet. It's the ultimate purpose of all the stuff they're doing. And so, and look, this is a multi-trillion-dollar company. They don't get to that level without knowing how to extract a lot of value from you. That's what they're going to do. They're going to give you what they can to get more money out of your pocket. That's really it. And that's how they keep pushing.
yeah, exactly. They give to take. They give just to take. That's the point. That's the point of this. Okay. This is not a free handout. It's not a free meal ticket.
Yep.
It's about getting you to buy. That being said, we got some chats that came in like so long ago. So I apologize.
sorry,
We have to
guys.
get to him. Our boy, Pragmatic
Pragmatic.
motherfucking Eagle.
Yo.
Inner Circle member, our boy.
Yes,
homie.
thank you so
Appreciate
much.
you. Thank you for being a member for 3 months, man. It says, in case anybody missed it the first time, fuck Nintendo. That is all. I'm eating good with Game Pass. Bars. Fucking bars. We got the homie Game Shark in the building with that
Twinkle,
$5 super
twinkle.
chat. Twinkle, twinkle, baby. Says check general Discord. Try to send a super, but it was too long. Sorry for the length, but I needed to vent. Hashtag I hate them.
Oh,
Shit. I feel that.
all right.
Man,
Well,
let me go into Discord. Let me go see. All right, go here. All right, here we go. Game Shark. I see him. Says, I thought Xbox was about community. Tears drying. He put a crying face. Phone, tablet, laptop, PC, web browser, Steam Deck, ROG Ally, Legion Go, Fire Sticks, and TV apps are all options. Even the original model Xbox One plays all current gen cloud enabled games. Stop the fake outrage and shut the fuck up.
woo.
Nice.
The Book of X, baby.
The Book of X. Twinkle, twinkle, baby. Twinkle, twinkle.
You've been twinkled.
That's right.
Let's go.
We got the homie Gil Lee Han.
Gil.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you for being here. Thank you for that
Thank
$2 super chat. Says, I'm upset. So upset for all these games on Game Pass. God damn. It's so true. There's too many games, bro. Too many games. Oh shit. We got the motherfucking homie Cypher Type
Yo!
1 in the building. Went ahead
go.
and became a member.
Bro,
of the
thank you
On
so
Point
much.
Squad. Thank you,
Thank
my
you.
brother. Appreciate you, my dude. Y'all know what to do.
Baby.
Put the motherfucking welcome to the family emoji in the chat. Welcome the return of our boy.
Yes.
Cypher Type 1, man.
Cypher,
Thank you so much, man. Appreciate you, my
Welcome
homie.
back.
Welcome
Thank
back.
you. Thank you for rocking
out.
out.
Appreciate you, my brother. Appreciate you. We have the motherfucking homie Simple Jack.
Simple Jack, what's
in the
up?
building with that $20 super chat. I appreciate you, my
Thank
dude.
you.
Let me go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead real quick. I gotta update this correctly. All right, because we got our boy in the building. He ain't playing no fucking games over here. No. We got Simple Jack slapping people up with that $20 super chat. Appreciate you, my friend.
Thank you.
Put that in there. Boom, save that, and look at you. You made the list.
Let's go.
Says Xboxes are manufactured in Dongguan, China. Nintendo moved their manufacturing to Vietnam to avoid high tariffs, but still raised prices. Xbox loses money on every box. Nintendo doesn't. So to me, Nintendo's still the worst company. Oh yeah. Big time. Big time. Listen, let's keep it real. Nintendo knows that they're not grabbing anybody that they haven't grabbed who's grown. Okay? They're not. There's no way. Okay? They know they're not. If you're in it, they know they already have you. They know their audience is captive. They know that if you like their stuff, you're gonna buy. So they go ahead and do it. And if they have a compelling product, then they're going to take advantage of that. We knew as soon as they did the switch. They hit the jackpot, right? They did. They created the perfect console as far as what a console should be. Not the power and all that stuff, but the idea of a console that you plug in at home and then you take it with you on the go seamlessly. That is jackpot. They killed it. They deserve the money they've been making for being the ones to create that shit, because they created a lot of shit that people copied, but ultimately those things didn't really stand the test of time. This isn't going anywhere, right? Like I said it back when people were trying to debate with me about what the new Switch was going to be
Mhm.
and what they were going to call the name and all that shit. All in this chat, many of you sat there fighting with me saying that Nintendo would never call the Switch 2. It's going to be the Nintendo Super, whatever the listen. They hit gold and they're not going to change it. They're keeping it the same way. They know the people that love them are going to still buy. It's just what it is. And so you're right, Simple Jack. I mean, there's really no other way to look at it. He does come back with another $5 super
Yo,
chat.
thank
Appreciation. My boy
you.
says PlayStation fanboys wanted to pay more for games. Microsoft just giving them what they asked for. Bars. Fucking
Yeah,
bars.
welcome.
because this might be for the specifically for the Sony PlayStation fanboy that is now realizing that PlayStation doesn't have anything, and they coming, running back to Xbox. Because I mean, like I said, at this point, if you haven't had an Xbox, you were never planning on buying an Xbox. You were like, oh, let me see if they got games, and in the meantime, you were spending your money on PlayStation. So I mean, Xbox, it is what it is. We'll be speaking about their value. We're speaking about like the proposition and how great Game Pass is. And in a game that inevitable, right? It's inevitable that the game prices increase. Game Pass is a blessing, man. So that's what I keep saying. Enjoy it while we can, because I mean anything can happen. We can wake up one day and Game Pass doesn't exist anymore, and it's
It
back
really can.
to freaking buying games. And wow, we were gonna be talking about it like shit, man. Remember Game Pass? Oh, I remember. Yeah, like y'all hating on it a lot, and now you look at it like, damn, we wish we could have supported it because it was such a great option. So this is your chance, man, to go ahead and join Game Pass. Make sure that Microsoft is getting money so we can get some games. I mean, that it's just how it is, man. If Game Pass is doing good, I mean, they're not gonna increase the prices like that. They're gonna be smart about it, at least.
Bro, imagine being somebody who is subscribed to Game Pass, who gets every first party Game Pass game for free in the service that they pay for, and then turn around and say, what the fuck are you doing, Xbox, for raising the price to $80 when you are in fact never going to have to pay the 80 motherfucking dollars? Yo, like that's crazy talk.
It is.
What does it matter to you? You know what I'm saying? Like you're not spending the $80. What are you concerned? Is the concern that people are not going to buy more games, or people are going to buy less games? Come on, man. Come on. What does it matter? You're going to do what you do. Right?
Yeah.
You got your games coming. You're enjoying
Like
your
you're
games.
checking their pockets.
Yeah,
You need
like-
to be concerned if you're signed up to Game Pass, right? And again, Game Pass is not for everyone. It is going to affect you just a bit, because if you buy the 1 or 2 games, right, you're going to pay a little extra. But if you play more than 1 or 2 games and you're signed up into Game Pass, you're not going to feel anything, right?
No, you're
It-
just
it's
living
just
your best life.
This particular situation doesn't affect you.
It just made Game Pass more valuable. You know what I'm saying? Like it just made it more valuable to you. Like you're getting more
sir.
now than you were getting before. And look, I mean, it sucks for the people who don't want to do it this way, but that's also not our problem.
Mm-mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to buy your games, bitch, then buy your games.
Buy
That's what
your
it costs
games.
you. You were always spending more money. You know what I'm saying? You were always spending more money by
Just
buying your
what's a
games
little-
versus games.
What's a little more?
You know what I'm saying? It's just a little bit more
And if
now.
you're gonna, again, if
Weren't
you're
you
gonna be,
flexing? Hold on, weren't they flexing that we're the broke bitches on Game Pass
Right?
and they can afford to buy their games?
It's
Isn't that what they told us?
CMoney is broke pass.
Broke
all right?
pass.
Broke
It's for
pass.
the brokies. Okay, brokey. I don't want to see I don't want to see one of you motherfuckers talking shit about prices going up on anything because y'all not brokey, right? Y'all not brokey. You okay spending the more
They
money?
like spending money. They like supporting the devs. What
Dude, they
better
should
way
be
to support them
celebrating.
than to show up
Give them
with a
$10
little extra
more per
cash?
game.
That's
I
true.
hope Xbox, you know what I hope? This is what I hope. This is my true hope. I hope Xbox says, you know what? Fuck these $50 games. Every game's gonna be 80 because that just makes me feel more sweet about my Game Pass subscription. You know what I'm saying? It just makes it it just feels more right. You know what I'm saying?
I think that in order to keep broke pass low,
Yes.
right? They should up the prices.
The rich need to pay more. Us brokies, we like it in the Game Pass. You know what I'm saying? We like it over here. So y'all who were letting us know that the welfare pass, that's right.
Oh,
We
yes.
on welfare. Please,
Thank you, Outwards
just like
Lyric.
in real life, to people with the money, pay for the people who have welfare. You know what I'm saying? So if I got the welfare pass that is Game Pass, please, when your prices go up,
leave a tip.
Enjoy. Thank you.
You know,
appreciate it. You know what I'm
there
saying?
you go.
Motherfuckers talk real loose out in these streets about how broke we are for wanting Game Pass and that we're so broke that we don't want to own our own games. But now they crying because the games are going up. Like, bitch, you were already spending way more than you needed to spend.
I just love, by the way, the conversation kind of just moved along, but you guys were talking about constructive criticism, and what better way to say, hey, Xbox, this is constructive criticism than to call it, give them the smoke. Right? It's like, hey, we're gonna give you the smoke, but it's all constructive, right? We're all friends here.
Oh shit. Our boy Cypher Type 1 with that
Yo,
$5 super
thank
chat.
you
My
so
dude, thank you, my
much.
brother, for being here, man.
Thank you for
Appreciate you.
rocking
Says Xbox, thought you were gonna just leave the club and expect to come back in for free?
Woo!
Nah, it's past 12 a.m. and the cover charge is now $20.
$20, baby.
Facts. I don't know what's so hard to comprehend.
I
You know what I'm
know.
saying?
That's crazy.
Like, this is not, I don't know. This is not like charity. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like they do. You know how like you got like those rich people and they have like that foundation that they have where, they have it's crazy money, but then they have like that foundation that they, give to charity, their own charity, right? Like they make it for themselves because clearly they don't want to give to a regular charity. They want to make their own charity and then give to that, right? And that's what we are on Game Pass, right? We're the charity for Xbox, right? We're here, we're paying our $20 due, and we get all that free stuff. And then all y'all rich folks, you know what I'm saying? That's what you guys like to be. You like to feel like you are because you buy all your games without Game Pass. You're too good for Game Pass. I get it, right?
The funny thing,
you get to pay for it.
The funny thing is that I've seen some of them say that, the stance of I buy my games. And they want the physical copy so that when they're done with the game, they can bring it back so that they can buy another game. But they're too good for the welfare pass. Make it make sense. Make it make sense.
Man. Oh, that was fun.
Man.
Okay. All right. Any last words before we get in the last couple of topics and keep it moving?
Listen, I'm going to leave it with some words from our boy, our homie, Pragmatic Eagle. He always says that common sense, it's not something that you just come about, right?
It's not that common.
You would think that it would be something that's common, but no.
Facts. 100%.
I want to say one thing. My last part is like Game Pass is still a great deal, and there's no way I'm living Game Pass over its own console price increase that I already own. I'm just saying, I don't like it. Fuck it. It is what it is at the end of the day.
But you don't
It
like it
sucks.
in like your mind, right? Like you
Well,
don't
I
like
mean,
it.
I
You
don't
don't
like
have
it.
any stake in the claim, right? Like you got Game Pass, so it doesn't
Yeah,
affect you there. You got your Series X, so it doesn't affect you there. You're just like being sympathetic to the
yeah, you
people
could say that.
who
Mhm.
said fuck Xbox for 5 years, and now that Xbox got all the games they want, now they're coming to show up and say, "But I want an Xbox,"
Eh,
but they
well,
gotta pay more.
at the
You
end of
know
the
what I'm
day, a
saying?
price increase could affect anybody because let's just say, for example, that I dropped my Xbox by mistake and now I have to go get one and maybe it's a little bit more expensive
Well,
that
that's
I,
called
Wait,
self-inflicted. That's like
I know,
complaining that you have to pay a
fuck you.
hospital bill because you shot
No,
yourself in the
that's not
foot.
cool.
that's
Don't
true.
drop
Nah,
your
no,
shit, demo.
yeah. But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, and then we
I mean,
stated it
it
here.
is, right?
Like, it's not
Yeah.
like
What'd you say?
we're
I didn't hear
happy
you, Heartbeat.
about it. It doesn't affect us like people think that it does, right? That my concern is with the fucking games, bro, being at $80, right? That at the end of the day, because okay, Xbox is saying that they're gonna do it case by case, maybe a huge game here and there, but we've seen plenty of games who are not even worth the $40 trying to be if $70 out here. So we don't want this to be a joke and be like, okay, now the next Assassin's Creed is gonna be $80. No, screw you.
It
Like
probably will be, right?
Respect.
I
it
mean, you think
probably,
about how
yeah,
many
but
people are working on it.
but
I
that's what
think
I'm
they will charge
saying.
that.
That's what I'm
And
saying.
whether
Mhm.
Xbox hires their prices or not, I think
The-
that
I,
they're gonna do that on their own, and that Assassin's Creed game is going to
Like, and to
be
be
bro,
clear,
more
like
money.
let's just be
Yeah.
clear here. When the market decides to move forward, understand, doesn't matter whether Xbox does it or not. Remember this, they were $60.
mhm,
Games still released for $70 on the Xbox when they were releasing their games for 60.
that's true.
Yeah.
Because third parties choose their own pricing. So because of Nintendo, who brought all this shit upon them, even if Microsoft said, we're not going to play that game, we're staying at 70, the world is still moving to 80 because obviously if Microsoft was crazy enough to look at Nintendo and be like, nah, dog, you can have the $80 realm. Our games are staying in the 70. The rest of the world is not going to look at it that way. They're going to look at
Yeah.
Mario Kart and be like, bro, I spent more than you spent on Mario Kart on like just a little tiny part of my game. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? There's no way we're going to be less than 80. So, like, understand, again, as much as these people want us to put the chrome barrel to Xbox, you know what I'm saying? It's not them. It's not them. They cannot stop third parties from leasing games at 80. And it was Nintendo who brought the parade. They did it.
They're
They
just
did it.
dancing in it. They're
Stop
like, all right, well,
the shit with Xbox
let me get in
nonstop,
there.
bro. Don't like, come on, man. Just stop. They are doing what everybody else is about to do. Stop trying to treat them like they were supposed to be some goodwill. They are goodwill. They're already doing that shit for Game Pass. That is like, you got to understand, Xbox's core audience, their core audience are Game Pass subscribers, not people who own the box.
Yep.
It's their core audience are the people who are Game Pass subscribers, because those are the people that when Xbox looks at their spreadsheets, they can count on a consistent basis. Obviously, with the margin of people who leave and come back, there's way more people who just set it and forget it, right? There's way more people who just pay the price and don't even look back, just like their Netflix bill or anything else. That's the core audience. That's the audience that they are constantly trying to take care of. And did we get a price increase right now? No. Will we? Yes. But did we right now? No, because they're showing us, for the people who want to pay attention and who want to wipe the tears from their eyes and the snot from their nose, they're showing us, the core audience of Xbox, that they see us and they give a shit about us because we're the ones who pay the bills every single month on a consistent basis. Everybody else picks and chooses what game suits their needs, but we are there month in, month out. and our prices didn't rise. We already got the Xbox. Our prices didn't rise. Fuck everybody else who sat on Xbox this entire time.
True.
Fuck everybody else.
Well,
Fuck
I get what
them,
you're saying, Demo, is that maybe you need to buy one for somebody who's just getting into gaming, right? Maybe your
Yeah.
child is growing up, and it's like that's fair
Give 'em a
enough. I get
tablet
it.
with Game Pass Ultimate, fam.
So
Yeah, I mean,
it is what it is.
I-
Whatever, I get it.
No,
It's an
nobody
increase.
cared about the ponies, you know, like if they want an Xbox or not. At the end of the day, after all the shit they talked, obviously. But I'm talking about like, you know, actual gamers who will probably be like, you know, I mean, people who are, you know, just realizing that Xbox exists right now, like, you know, Subrovian and shit. Like, you know, the reason I don't think he would have gotten an Xbox if it was, you know, like after this price increase, because then it wouldn't be making sense, right? I think that, you know, it's just like certain people. I just feel bad because at the end of the day, holidays are coming, and maybe you got a little cousin or something. You like want to surprise them and shit, and it's like now a pain in the neck because it's a little bit more expensive. Because I mean, that's one of the things that I was thinking, because I know my little cousins and shit, they're not gonna play their Nintendo's Switch anymore because they don't like the prices. But now Xbox come with the same bullshit, and it's like, you know, how am I gonna tell them
that?
like
Nintendo, because they don't like the prices, and now Xbox went up. Why should Xbox be the second fiddle, right?
Well,
because
because,
Nintendo
I mean,
up their prices. Now
because
the
they're
value
kids
I see
too.
in Xbox,
It's
right?
different.
Yeah.
But now they up their prices. I think that's
I mean,
the
hopefully-
problem. People shouldn't
hopefully
just
Demo-
come to Xbox when there's like no other choice.
No, yeah, right.
Exactly.
You
Like, we're
know,
not the last
like
fucking
in the fact that
resort.
we are
Like,
putting
fuck
them,
that,
like we're
bro.
giving them the smoke to keep them in that box, right? Of being nobodies, right? Or freaking the third ones out. Like, we shouldn't be looking at them that way. Why?
Well, because
I
of consumer
mean,
friendliness,
come
right?
on,
Just people
man.
were expecting that, but it is
Yeah.
what it is. Business is business.
Yeah.
But Demo, hopefully
It's
there'll be
business is
some
business.
deals.
If you
No,
it
there
doesn't matter
will
what
be
you expect. If
deals.
you weren't
Yeah,
an
and you
Xbox
can get
fan
the
and you didn't
Series
get your
S.
Xbox, it is what it is. This is
Yeah.
what they cost now.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like, this is not like Armageddon. Like, they will have, you know, other promotions.
At
They
Christmas
will.
time, they'll still have
Yeah.
deals. Probably go
Yeah, they
back to
will.
just the regular price and shit. You know, look, it is what
Yep.
it is. But I got to tell you, there is a lot to the idea that at the end of the day, if we're the backup choice, why do we cater to them?
Mm-hmm.
Like, the edge case scenarios where it's just like, you know, a second console, or you just want to give a gift and shit, like, that's all cool, right? But that doesn't make up the majority of people, right? The majority of people who are going to be buying this are going to be the people who are looking over and saying, oh shit, they got those games in Game Pass. I want a console that has Game Pass. Pay more, bitch. Somebody who is sitting there who had another console forever and is finally saying, you know what, there's enough games over there that I want to go ahead and buy the other console. Pay up. Like, there is, you know how many times, think about this. How many times have we been the losers in the scenario? Like, think about that. Like, I don't know who's going to be pissed about this. Like, my mind is fucking fucked right now. How were we okay that because we felt that Xbox was worth it, we paid full price for that bitch at launch, paid $500, and then over the course of time, all the people who didn't believe, all the people who didn't see the value, get the benefit of paying cheaper later for the shit that we saw the value in and bought right away. I am fucking glad. Fuck those people. Go buy your shit later. I saw the value, so I bought. I'm Gucci. You didn't see the value.
true.
Now you do. Now you want to buy. Now you pay more, bitch. And you know what? The idea of it is crazy because it's so funny because people say, how can a 5-year-old game as console, how can it be more money? You know how?
It's vintage.
Because the economy of that console has changed. Now, see, when we bought it, there weren't a lot of games. there weren't a lot of games that took advantage of the hardware. Now there is. So the value is actually more now for that console experience than it was
At the
when we
beginning of
bought
the
that shit.
generation. Of course. Of course.
So yes,
Absolutely.
yes, you'll pay for that shit. Maybe next time a new generation starts, maybe you'll buy that bitch at the beginning instead of waiting and hoping and praying that you'll go buy something else and come back when Xbox is cheaper. Come on, man.
Well, look, a part of this is also just getting people used to the fact that prices are going to escalate next gen. I
We
think
talked
the
about
PS
that
Pro,
too.
Yeah, we
the
did.
PS5 Pro
yesterday.
was one of those, and they're doing the same thing with that Galaxy Edition. Just like, hey guys, this is where it's going. The trajectory is upwards, not downwards. Don't
Yeah, I
expect
mean,
a
they want to
$500
close
console.
that gap before the new consoles come in. So it's not a WTF situation.
100%.
And maybe I don't even know if they're going to do it, but maybe they like freaking announce hardware at the June showcase, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, it's going to come in at $800," and you're like, "Oh my fucking god!" Right? But now you won't, because like you've been kind of accustomed to the fact that that is the price, like that is the way it is, right? So this is, I think they're just setting the stage for what's coming next, and like this is, you just have to kind of accept the gradual up. This is gonna be the way it is. Like PC parts are ridiculous now too, so I can't say that's like just on this side. Yes, it used to be that the console was the cheap entry point. It still is, to be fair, right? Versus going into a PC. But it's not that easy to get cheap PCs these days. It's like all the parts have become ridiculous now. So either way, it is what it is. 370, 380, whatever it is still a good entry point. It's not bad. It's still a good entry point, right? People didn't complain when the OLED was $400, wasn't it? Switch OLED. Is it 350, 350, 400, whatever it was, 350 maybe? I don't
400.
know. But yeah, so like it's in the same range. Is that like terrible? Like, come on, no, it's not the end of the world. It sucks from a optics perspective, sure, but hey, this is the way it is. Now I don't know if PlayStation will follow suit or not. They probably will, but I'm going to reserve judgment on that. I don't know if they will. Right? They could certainly say, "Hey, we'll just stay put and look better." That's not their history, by the way. That's not what they've been doing.
What reason would they have? They're not releasing games. They're releasing once in a blue moon. They have no reason. Their volume of games didn't go up where they're spending so much more money. Come on, man. And all this on top of sprinkle on top of all this, that Xbox is the only motherfuckers who allow you to enjoy their games outside of the box.
Yeah, well, that's true.
You don't need the motherfucking box.
Not by buying another copy of the game, by the way.
Yeah. You don't need the box. Go play it on your
it is
PC.
what it is, man.
Go play it on your TV. Come on, man. That being said, let me get my boy Simple Jack in the building. Thank you, my brother, for being here, man.
Thank you so much.
Super chat, man. Appreciate you, homie. Says the $80 narrative has been set by Nintendo. 80 equal better, bigger, better quality now. If a game sells for less, the question a normie is going to ask, is it not good enough to cost 80?
Thank you. Yes.
I mean, as much as we want to have those prices as low as possible, and we want to be surprised by a game that costs less that's so much better, realistically speaking, it is going to be a case where you're like, well, if it's not on sale, why is it cheaper? Is it less of a game?
What is lacking?
Is it a shorter game? Is it a ugly game? Like, what is wrong with the game that is not worth full price? Right? And that is going to be a question that will come up. That is a question that happens every time. When people see South of Midnight, you don't think they wonder why that's cheaper? When you see Expedition 33, you don't think people wonder why they're cheaper? Get yourself out of the bubble of Twitter and us gassing all these games up, and put yourself into the shoes of somebody who's walking into Walmart and seeing a box on this on the shelf that says South of Midnight for $50.
Yep.
It's like, what the fuck is that? And
why?
Why is it cheap? What's wrong with it? What's going on? This is just the way that people look at shit. Now, again, I'm not suggesting that it should have been 80. But what I am saying is that Nintendo raising this shit higher does that. It makes people look and say, why? Why is it so much cheaper? Which is fucking crazy. But you know what I don't give a fuck about is that because I have it in Game Pass, so it don't matter to me either way. All right.
It'll be interesting to see where this goes, right? With the $80 games. Like at some point, that's probably going to cause a game to fail. I think there's going to be like sales drop because it's
$70 cost games to fail.
Yep.
Yeah, it did.
Already
And
happened.
so you have to make that measurement. Now, like the games that are like automatics, like GTA, they could charge 150 and stupidly people
Call
will
of
still
Duty,
buy it
same thing.
anyway. Call of Duty, people are going to pay the $80. They will. It's just, it is what it is, right? There are some games that they'll just get the money. Fine. But not every game's like that. If it's just teetering, it could very much fail. And so it'll be interesting to see which game ends up saying we're going to go $80 and doesn't make the money back and dies.
Yeah.
Like
Honestly,
that,
we
unfortunately, is a
talked
very
about this.
viable thing.
At the end, if you remember, Hargy, at the end of Boom Show, I said, like, I was like, the one thing about pricing is I don't think that it's all going to be 80. I think people are going to
I
think
doubt
long
that,
and
yeah.
hard
Not from
before
Xbox anyway.
slapping an $80 price tag on their game. Just because
Yeah.
the ceiling is there doesn't mean that they're going to be able to prove that it's worth that. And that's going to be the discussion
And-
they all have. And pricing is going to be a
Yep.
major discussion now for all of these games. They have to know when they come out. The 80 is by no means going to be the default, right? No matter how
Yeah.
the headlines want it to look, it's not going to be. They're going to be people who think their game is worth 80 and they'll price it as such. And if people don't buy it, it'll be on sale in 3
Yeah.
weeks
Mhm.
and you'll get it at the price you want, or it'll be in Game Pass in no time, right? Like,
Yep.
that's
And
all
there
that's
are
going
the
to do.
developers are going to try to take advantage of the fact that, that's the new price out there
Yeah.
and try to maximize how much they make until people catch on to the fact that the game is not worth the $80.
I
And
just
word starts
feel-
to spread. But there are going to be, the ones are going to feel like, okay, great. Look at how much we can make now.
Yeah. I just feel like as an adult, we cannot be controlled by FOMO. We have to be better than
Mhm.
that. And if you're not
Yep.
okay with paying $70 or $80, either look for alternative ways of playing it, like we talked about, like the cloud, like a Fire Stick or something, or hold up a little bit and wait, because these games
Play some of
usually
your
go on sale.
backlog
Like
and
look at
wait till
the
shit to go
case.
on sale.
Look at the case,
Yeah.
like game. There's a perfect example out there, like Final Fantasy. When it came out on the PlayStation, it was $70. When it came out on PC not too long ago, you could have pre-ordered it with a discount. It was like $45. I know it's a year later, but it's half the fucking price, guys. So understand this: as a single player game, Final Fantasy is not a game that are obligate that is imperative for you to play right away. There's some other shit that you can wait. Like, for example, GTA, I know it might be a little bit tough if you join the fun online later, but you can still wait. They'll still have specials, guys. Like, the same thing with Call of Duty happens. Like, every holiday, all the Call of Duties go on sale, and all of them are $19. Or either that, or now they are in Game Pass. So, like I said, this is not Armageddon, not a big deal, but we would definitely start seeing some more $80 games. But it's now concerning to see if people are really going to buy into this. Maybe some games can have that luxury, some big franchise, but they really have to be really careful, because let's say, for example, games like, I don't know, how would you feel about a new God of War, for example, at $80? Or how would you
It'll
feel
probably
about a
still sell.
new like, it just depends, I guess, because it might sell for you, Hargy, but it might not sell for me. Look, today I was talking to Power Boss. Is somebody who has zero excitement for GTA, and you might be like, oh shit, this is weird, but they out there,
People like what they like, man.
who can be enticed into buying a game just based on the price. For example, games like RuneScape that just came out, that is like $30 on early access. A lot of people bought into that. Why? Because it's only $30. Who cares? Just whatever. We see if it's good. We stick with the game, and by the time the game releases at $70 or $60, we already have it, because we got the early access, all type shit. So I mean, just know that you are an adult, right? Because I think this is an 18-year or older channel. You are an adult, and you can wait for a discount as well. So this is not the end of the world, guys. And I think like the doom and gloom is unnecessary. A lot of overreactions. Yeah, we have to speak it out. We got to call it out. We got to say that we're not happy, but we also got to move on. because at the end of the day, this is happening whether we like it or no. Now,
Yeah, I
the
mean,
fact
wallets
is,
are going to talk, right? The
yeah,
wallet's going to talk. We'll find
what?
out what people are willing to pay for different games.
Of
You
course.
mentioned Ubisoft.
Mhm.
At least they also have a service, so you can just
Yep.
subscribe to their service if you don't want to pay the $80.
I did.
Just subscribe for a
Play
month.
Assassin's Creed for a month.
Play.
Didn't stick with it. I'm like, okay, I'm good. I tried it. I enjoyed the first couple of chapters. I mean, I think the beginning of the story was pretty solid. So I enjoyed that. The first like 10, 12 hours of the game. I thought that was good. It makes me wonder if I would have continued to play if it was like maybe half the size. Maybe I would have finished it. But I didn't have enough time. And look, Oblivion just came out. Tower Bone is out. Bro,
How much value did you
madness
get?
right now.
Exactly.
It's just
Right?
like good
It's crazy.
stuff. That's what I say at the beginning of the show. I'm happy as a gamer. I'm being fed the right food. Bro, in a couple, we're talking about all this, but like in a couple of weeks, we're gonna get Doom, and that's not gonna be $70. That's not gonna be $80. That's gonna be day one on Game Pass, guys. So I mean, yeah. Do we like the prices? No. Are we still excited for what Xbox has to offer? Hell fucking yeah. It's just like the most exciting times that Xbox ever had. So let's enjoy it. Like I said, enjoy it while it lasts, guys. You never fucking know. In the meantime, we're playing. Right now, as we speak, I'm playing Tower Born. Fucking dope. It just came out. Addicting as hell. I can't stop playing it, and it gets better and better and better. You get these little 5-minute short sessions that you can just like get it done and then go to work or something before work or something, at least. And I think this is one of those games that maybe for a Steam Deck or something like that would be amazing. It was just one of those. But yeah, like we got so much, man. Expedition 33 is killing it. I've been playing the shit out of it.
So much good shit, man.
Thanks to Game Pass, I got to
I
play
just started
Expedition 33.
South of Midnight.
I wouldn't
finished AC
spend.
Shadows.
Oh, did you?
Nice.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Yeah,
spend
yeah.
How you liking it?
$1 on Expedition 33 if it wasn't
That's
on
true.
Game Pass. I promise
Yep.
you, I would not spend
you would have
$1
to
because
well,
it's
I mean, I
turn-based.
probably would have just based on the 92 meta. I would have been like, oh my
Yeah.
god, it's really that good. I might just buy. But anyway, so I'm liking it so
A
far.
lot of
Very,
people
very
have
early on.
said that though, Demo. Like they would not, they wouldn't have thought that
Have
that's a
gotten in
game
the
that
engagement, yeah.
they would have liked, or they wouldn't
Yeah.
have spent the money.
Yeah, I
on
mean, we
it.
got the preview for
Yeah.
it, and I liked the preview right
Yep.
away. I knew it was going to be something special. Right? Remember, babe? We were
Mhm.
literally
You guys
like
said it, yeah.
playing it, like, oh my god,
Yeah.
what is this story? This is crazy.
So
Get
as far as
all
South of
emotional
Midnight,
shit.
yeah,
I'm not crying.
Don't spoil
I'm
the
on
story,
chapter
though.
2 or so.
Don't spoil the
But yeah.
story, I think.
It's just an emotional story. I mean,
Yeah,
for
it's crazy.
Expedition, if you're,
And
if
that's
you're
what
right
you
at the
need, right? You
beginning,
need that hook to
it
like keep
starts
you
that
going, right?
Yeah.
So
oh yeah, it's fucking
yeah, so
crazy. Like I
apparently
saw
it's excellent.
the
I can't
preview
wait to
put
start
you
playing
in
that
further,
one.
and I saw shit in there. And I was like, oh my god, wow. And then when you play the real game and it starts off immediately just crushing your soul with this goddamn Expedition 33. It's crazy.
Nice.
Yeah.
So how you like it, South of Midnight, Hargy? I didn't.
Yeah,
hear
yeah.
you.
So and then chapter 2, so far so good. I have not like done too much. I
Nice.
think I'm at chapter 2. I think that's where I am. But yeah, so I just kind of stopped because we were going to do the podcast. But yeah,
Nice.
I finished AC Shadows. Oh my god, was that long? And whatever. It was good enough, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah, I was really into AC Shadows, but then other shit dropped. So that AC
Yeah.
Shadows is gonna be like I'll get back to it. Like if there's any lulls
Yeah.
and I'm not playing anything,
Yeah.
I'll get back to it because I do enjoy it. And it's beautiful. Oh my god.
There's just too many
yeah.
games, man. And my Bethesda like thing had come in for the shipping of my collector's edition. I don't know if you guys ended up buying it or not, but
Which one?
Doom?
the Doom the Dark Ages
Mm.
collector's edition.
Oh no, you know what? I didn't. I was looking
no,
at
I
it like
did.
I was like,
We got the wrap, the controller, and
we
the
bought all the
Elite.
stuff. I have
I got
two
that. I got
controllers.
those sitting right there. I got the
And
Elite
the
and
wrap.
the
I
wrap.
got the
Yeah, I
Elite,
got
the regular
those.
one, which the
We
regular
got
one
some
looks fucking
unboxings
sick.
coming, guys.
Yeah, we're gonna be posting them up soon. So
So,
waiting
but
for
yeah,
the
yeah,
Elite to
yeah.
come in.
So
So
that'll be
now we
coming
have
in
all
soon.
three.
Doom the Dark Ages.
That's dope.
Yeah,
That's
like it's crazy, bro. And then you heard about Wu Chang, right? In July.
That's
July.
in
July
July, yeah,
24.
July.
So that's another month. Check this out, bro. Look, so we got Doom, right? this price increase shit is going on, right? By Doom, everybody will forget about it. Then we got the June showcase. Everybody's gonna forget even more
Oh
after
yeah,
all the
everybody with a
excitement.
horrible headline on their thumbnail now is going to be talking about how Xbox is the greatest thing since sliced bread come June. It's just the way it
but,
is.
but look, to be fair, in the thumbnail, I don't know if you guys seen the thumbnail of my show. As I
No.
said, Xbox messed up, and I had the the meme from Expedition 33 that he gets behind the wall. He sets up the wall and you can hit him, type of shit. Like he has like a glass wall, and then he cannot go through. I don't know if you've seen that in the game.
Oh, I don't think I saw it. No.
Okay, so basically, you make it really dramatic so people click on it, but then everybody's happy and smiling. Everybody's like, "Oh, this shit is such clickbait." It's like, yeah, I mean, like, what do you want me to do? Like, we already talk about the prices being bad, but look at all these other exciting shit that we got going on. Like, are we gonna spend the whole night crying about the same shit, or are we gonna move on and talk about shit that is really exciting, that is actually going on? Games that are being played, games that are being released, that are coming out. GTA with exciting news, right? Giving all these games a lot of room to breathe now. So Marathon, they can breathe a little bit. They were really scared. It seems like Hiroki Totoki had to do a little bit of flying, and I think that runs in every PlayStation CEO veins, like Jim Bryan flying over Brussels.
I thought Nishino is that's his name, right? I thought he's the CEO now, right? He's the Nishino,
Hiroki,
whatever.
Yeah, Hiroki.
No, Hiroki is the CEO of Sony. I think Nishino's the
Nishino's the CEO of PlayStation.
Of PlayStation now, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we should go to that as the next topic. Is a whole marathon arc raiders, right? What's going on there?
Yeah. Let's do that, man. Fuck this doom and gloom shit. I'm tired of it. We already talked about it. We said everything that we have to say about it.
We're definitely working our way out of it. Let me get this over here. Let me show this Archangel Nexus. Set something real quick. Let me show you guys. Bam. I like this right here. It says games are fucking expensive. The light. He sees the light. Angel comes down, passes him a card. She flies away. He looks at the card.
Yeah, that's dope.
That's the answer. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is the answer. So it's like you can cry or you can just get with the fucking program. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just what it is. Like, awesome. There is an alternative, right? If you choose to ignore that alternative, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a personal problem. Like, I'm just saying, like, don't be a fucking loser.
The ones that are really screwed up are the ponies and PlayStation only fans, right? The PlayStation people who only want to play on PlayStation. Why is that? Because they can only consume what PlayStation gives them. People like us with open minds and being able to access and have the will, right? Be willing to try different things. You get rewarded by it because you can literally play on the PC, you can play on the Steam Deck, you can play on the Lenovo Legion Go. Like the options are there, guys. Like chill out. Bunch of exciting shit going on. CMoney about to pull up. Let's get it.